Hey guys, today I'm upgrading a few things on my Ender 3 V2. First is this aluminum 4-piece extruder, and then I got the Capricorn Premium XS Bowden tubing. Then we're switching out the hotbed with the new die springs and aluminum hand twist leveling nut. I also got the Ender 3 Hotend Creality kit with a 0.4mm nozzle. Next is official Creality Ender 3 fan upgrades. Lastly, I'm switching out the glass hotbed with the PEI sheet with the magnetic adhesive. Okay, let's go. So I'm starting with the extruder. There really weren't any issues with it, but it did come with the upgrade kit along with the springs and the Bowden tube, so I might as well replace it and put a new aluminum one on. So I do want to mention the spring was really making the wheel pinch the filament. I did have it break a few times while it was printing, and you know, that kind of ruined some of my prints and wasted some filament. So what I ended up doing was cutting it and snipping it down little by little until it was tight enough to grab, but not too tight where it was squeezing it. Moving to the Hotend, replacing it was pretty simple, but after realizing where the power cables go to, that's when it got tricky. I recommend cutting the old power cables and then taping them, pulling them through the mesh organizer, because if not, you're going to have a hard time feeding it through. And you're also going to need to feed the fan cables along with the Hotend cables. So I'd recommend just taping them together and just feed them all through at once. It's going to be a lot easier, trust me. And just before you start yanking stuff out, just make sure you take a picture just so you can see where everything went before, so you don't get mixed up and start putting stuff in the wrong place. Next are the hotbed springs. You can definitely tell the difference in strength compared to the original ones. Side note, this kit does come with two different lengths of springs. The 20mm are recommended for the Enders. The longer 25mm are for the CR series. All right, important info or warning or whatever. Like I said earlier, make sure you know how your stuff looks when coming off. I put this back the wrong way and my bed was uneven and lopsided and I couldn't figure out what it was. It was making me crazy. So the spring goes between the black plastic. It even has a hole or like an indent where the spring would sit. I kind of put it on top and yeah, that was wrong. So just for future reference, just to help you guys out. I also found the easiest way to do this, if you're doing this by yourself, is just place the springs on the holes and just slowly make sure the screws fall into them. And then you could bring the whole plate back down. One extra thing too, I added these butterfly nuts, size M4. I got these at Home Depot, I think for like $2.50 or something. I mean, you know, some extra support or help doesn't hurt. So moving on. This adhesive is super sticky, as you can imagine. I couldn't get it flush perfectly, but it wasn't too far off. There's just a little piece of metal on the top right corner, barely poking out. So I was satisfied with that. And after a few tests on the new bed, I kind of found out I had to mess with the temps a little bit. I ended up raising the temperature a little bit, the nozzle at 215 and the bed at 55. And I think it's because the magnetic adhesive kind of gives it an extra layer, so you might need a little hotter bed, but that's just what works for me. And this is the final test print. Some brass knuckles I found for your Joy-Con. I made it for my son and he thought they were pretty funny. So please let me know if you have any questions. I'll answer to the best of my knowledge. If this video helped you in any way, you know, give it a like and I'll update you on what I do next. All right, thanks. See ya.